What's up, friends? This is Manni and welcome to my first ever speedrun for Star Citizen. Project Hyperion, the new ASD mission that came with a 4.3.1 update. We're here in the 1-minute intro before we go. And yeah, yesterday I've made a full guide step by step for the entire thing. During this speedrun here, I'm obviously not going to go into much detail, but you can use it as a guide to do things as fast as possible. At least when it comes to the first many steps. Later, when combat happens, there are various different ways to do it. You might be able to just run through and not shoot guys or whatever, right? If you're really trying to maximize the speed. This is the loadout we're using here. We have a max lift tractor beam and the large Combio SRT repair tool. And we have a mining beam as the small tool. So I can swap by pressing the button 5 between the two, which makes the first step of this mission super fast and super easy. You're gonna see what I mean with that. The speedrun begins in 3, 2, 1, now. When the elevator door opens, you see the time code on screen until the very end of the speedrun. We have two guys here. I guess this guy should have gotten a headshot. Somehow he survived all of that. Absolute miracle. But yeah, let's move over. I'm killing as little things as I can, at least in the first, let's say, half of this speed run. And here I'm actually mispressed a button. I brought out the med pen instead of the multi-tool. And we're now destroying the stalactites here, and you don't have to wait for each stalactite to be broken. You can just, you know, add enough energy to each of them so they will break by themselves because you've added so much energy to that. There's 3 on each of those pipes, so that's what you're gonna have to do. And sometimes you're gonna have to wait for one of them to have broken so you can target the other one. What I usually do, I first break off all the stalactites before I begin repairing. Because I'm gonna have to hit those levers anyways, so I may as well take one extra step back and forth. This way I can make sure that there is no repaired pipe getting broken again with the next radiation wave coming through the level, you know? So now we're going here, right click for a second, pop green, and pull the lever. That's number 1, or rather number 4. Alrighty. Then we're doing the same thing here. Maybe, perhaps we could optimize 2 seconds by doing this first, the moment we come down here. I'm just worried that for not interacting with this pipe for, let's say, 1 or 2 radiation bursts, that it might break again, which would actually add a few seconds rather than removing them. Okay, thanks phone, enough with the beeping messages. Here we go. All right, we completed the first part 1 minute and 50 seconds in, okay? From the moment we entered the level in the elevator until now. Now we have to swap the Combio SRT because we are not using it for a while. Inventory management is super complicated in Star Citizen as usual, but yeah. I'm checking now if one of those canisters is already here, because most of the time there is 1 canister laying right there, which means I only have to bring 2 more, right, instead of 3. Of course the big worm was gonna spawn in, and I'm not interested in taking a whole lot of much of extra damage or a whole lot, so we're getting this guy out of the way, emptying the clip, and now we can actually tractor those those canisters from over here. We don't even have to go there. So we're doing this, moving one of them over there. Then I'm getting shot by a dude. The Lumen is gonna take care of that, and the Lumen is the SMG I'm having in my hand. For those who don't know, my opinion, one of the most powerful weapons for close quarter combat. Everything within 50 meters range, the Lumen really comes out on top. And also, I would very much advise every single one of you guys trying to do some sort of speed running or doing things efficiently solo, use silencers. Even though that does limit your options if you're running, if you want to run some you know, less recoil weapons. But those silencers make sure the enemies never know where you are, so they're just standing around like morons waiting for you to get to headshot them. Alright, so 3 minutes and 32 seconds or so, we are at step number 2. I don't think we have to list the individual steps or durations, or actually, hold on, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make sure that there is like a screenshot of each time code for each segment done. so we can compare them. Maybe I'm gonna upload another one where I really go crazy and just ignore every enemy that doesn't need to be killed, because what I'm doing here is I'm killing guys. Technically you don't have to do that, right? So we could shave off a couple of seconds every now and then, which for a speedrun, I guess, is the ultimate goal, right? This is the first attempt, something funny, new, and interesting that I want to add and bring up to the channel here. So I realize there's a lot of potential to save time. But depending on what your feedback is, maybe we could just really go and completely freaking perfect this to the millisecond, okay? But there are some random variants or elements. For example, if you are too fast, sometimes you're unlucky and the last group doing the mission on the same base hasn't been done here for long enough for all elevators to have reset. Sometimes you're unlucky and the elevators are in the forward extended positions, right? So they're basically down. You have to bring them back first. That obviously would ruin every speedrun. So there's a random luck element that differentiates the Star Citizen speedrun in this case, in this PU universe, versus certain speedruns in Dark Souls, for example, where the level and everything is always the same. But yeah, so we're back to the SRT tool, repairing this pipe from here. And then I'm not exactly sure how this works. I always think maybe by pressing this button first, I'm gonna get one of those plasma power cells, but it's not printing the power cell. And I don't quite understand. Oh, again, pressed 4 here, another second wasted. I'm not exactly sure why or what causes the plasma cell to be thrown out on this conveyor belt down below. Because I pressed the lever, I repaired the pipe, something is turning and moving in the machine behind me, so I'm assuming it's producing the power cell now that I need to put into the thing. But you see, there is no power cell being delivered on that conveyor belt down there. So I'm pressing the button again, hoping that it will do it, but it's not doing it. I'm not even sure what the frickin' button actually does. I did, however, find out that the power cell is always there, like attached to its starting position. It's just that you have to fiddle it through that little pipe and not get it constantly colliding with things. So again, we're losing a bunch of seconds, and the last time I did that, the power cell was already laying on the conveyor belt and I could conveniently pull it out. So not exactly sure how to speed this part up. But again, this serves as a funny speed run, and for those of you who want to solo run this quick, you can take inspiration from this for certain elements that you may or may not have known before. I'm pretty sure you're gonna see something that is interesting for you. 6 minutes and 48 seconds, and we are done with this part. I think I actually had a faster speed run here before, but then things got crazy and something happened. I think I took too many injuries and stuff like this. Anyways, we're getting rid of those guys. I would not recommend running through these boys here because there's too many of them and they can screw you up pretty badly and very quickly if you don't get rid of them. But again, the Lumen just does that so simple, you know. And with the look, these guys have no idea because the silencer. They have no idea that I just already dropped a bunch of guys behind them, and they're just standing there waiting for the headshots to happen. Here you can just run through. You don't actually have to wait because you can take one of those radiation bursts in your face. You're not gonna get radiated and die from it. If you're lucky like me, in this case, the radiation burst hasn't even happened. And this here was, oh yeah, that's what happened. Remember when I said I used to have a faster speed run? When this happened, this elevator was not in this position. It was in the forward extended position where I'm driving right now, from the last group. So that kind of ruined my speed run, and I had to restart. But yeah, so very interesting. I never thought I would be doing speedruns, anything. But I really like, this is my style of things. I love perfecting things. Whenever you watch one of my ship reviews, I'm doing them honest and I'm doing them very complete. I'm giving additional elements of comparing to other ships. I'm giving stats and loadouts, giving the ideal setup, and so on. In this case here, I don't want to take that radiation burst. I'm trying to get an idea of how long it takes for the next one to pop. And I'm gonna have to wait because I don't want to get that one on my, like, weakening my armor on radiation already. Trying to find maybe there's some lumen ammo in here, but there isn't. And pop, there comes the radiation burst, and now we're exiting. I packed a P6 LR sniper rifle so that I can effectively drop those guys from a distance, but I also found out that it doesn't always work. Like, perfect shot, perfect shot, perfect shot. What in the world is going on? And you know how long it takes to reload those weapons, right? Boom, next guy, and well, that was a perfect shot, but it didn't count. I don't know. So I figured out that my idea was, okay, I'm gonna use that P6 to one-tap everybody here. Sometimes it works, and sometimes the perfect shot doesn't get registered. So am I actually faster than just using the lumen? I'm not sure, because with the lumen I will be more on the move while fighting. With the P6, I'm literally standing still, not moving 1 inch. So for a speed run, just maybe going full on lumen only, even if I have to fight some enemies from a large distance, might be the better choice. I don't know. I'm still in the process of figuring this out. If I was to one-tap every enemy with this, look at this. Perfect headshot, perfect headshot. What the frick? Maybe it's, you know what I think it is? I think it's the zeroing. It's the zeroing on the weapon. I'm making visually a perfect headshot, but maybe the weapon is zeroed in on 200 meters, and we are fighting at 50 meters. So I actually have to aim lower, depending on what gravity the enemy is standing on, what is up and what is down. I may have to, and then there is this. Like, enemies being too far away to be properly and fluidly displayed. What they're doing, they're like moving in these lag states where you never really know where to place your shot. Look how much time goes off for this segment. Unreal. This is a speed run, man. I'm standing here sniping 2 guys for 30 seconds because the freaking enemies are moving like this, like they would be lagging, and you don't know where to place your shot to make that shot count. So again, I could have saved massive amounts of time by just flying over there and ruining their day with my lumen in short range. Boom, simple, you know? I thought I was being smart by using a sniper here. Maybe that's not the best choice. We're gonna optimize this, probably. Again, if your feedback is positive, you wanna see more of it. Apparently this was already used here. Did I just deactivate it? But yeah, depending on what your feedback is, guys, we're gonna be doing this again, and this time I'll be maximizing for maximum speed. Hit, hit. Okay, so the body shots need to hit twice. Headshots will kill in 1 hit, even those heavy armor dudes over there. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remember that they're, yeah, boop, got this guy. More guys are shooting. Maybe we don't even have to kill all of them, right? Maybe we can just sneak through, press the buttons, and tank the damage. Imagine how much time we could shave off of this speedrun if we were to just fly around with the med gun and constantly tank the damage and heal it back. I guess there's a ton of time that we could save. Yeah, alright. So, next one. Is this number 5 or 6? Alright, that was number 5. So we're gonna have to do the number 6 still. And if you jump at the right time, you get a massive jump boost. Like, you jump up with a massive speed boost. You're actually safe on the number 6, by the way. You can hit the lever, and you would be safe from behind that that shield when the radiation hits you at that moment. So there's another guy. Even at this range, the game displays his movement in a lag state. Yeah, I don't know. Are we actually faster with the sniper rifle compared to the lumen? I don't know. I don't think so. Wait, so now this is the number 6. Alright, apologies. Got something mixed up there. So, okay. Last one. Now we're ready to go and grab the last, the region code. Or reagent. Reagent? How do you even pronounce this in English? Okay, button X slows your movement, right? Even in EVA. Pressing this button, and at 13 and 25 seconds or something like this, we had it. Now we have to look out for the ASD symbol. That's the exit. The white numbers on the wall, there it is. We're once again waiting out the radiation burst, and then we're going. We should have enough time for this. I don't know, I feel like there was a time when these radiation bursts happened a little more often, maybe on the PTU. Did they change something? I don't know. But yeah, we're 14 minutes in, and we are basically done with the engineering room or engineering wing on the ASD. Now we have to go back to the into the research ring. This, by the way, is where you get the Geist armor, and in the other room next to us. Sometimes I will be using a second to shoot an object in the speedrun just to direct you to knowing where you can get some good loot. I will also walk by some boxes, even though it takes a few extra seconds, because I think it's still, you know, what's most valuable about this is probably the information you get about what to do. Where is something that you can get? I think that's more valuable for you right now than for us to save an extra second. But if I do another recurring video, then I will go for maximum speed on this run. Alrighty. And by the way, if you enjoy the content and you're not yet subscribed to this channel, I'm not really focused around doing speedruns for Star Citizen here, but I might do that from time to time for certain missions just to give you the maximum efficiency on completing something solo. But mostly I focus on news and reviews and stuff here. And by the way, normally you should here on this position kill guys down below, throw them into the bodies into the container and produce this biomass. For some reason, I never have to do it. I can just press the button right now. Maybe there's a bug in the mission and in the future you're gonna have to do this. Since this works right now, obviously I'm just gonna hit the button. If in the future you're gonna have to, because they patch it and you have to throw in bodies into this biomass chamber, then you're obviously going to have to do that. And by the way, I tried to jump over that window. Bypassing the door doesn't work. This is where you get a helmet, I think, for the Geist armor. Here in this room, there's various red boxes where you can get the backpack. Important here is hit that elevator button as fast as possible, because you're gonna lose a lot of time waiting for that elevator. So the first thing you're gonna do in walking into this room, hit that button, and now I don't know, you can kill guys, you can just sit around, you can do inventory management, which during speedruns usually people do when they're standing on elevators, you know, in Dark Souls or whatever. During that moment they will manage inventory and move around things, use souls and stuff like this. Here we don't have to do that, but we can manage inventory, we can pool the ammo, we can, you know, clip the next magazines on our chest, which, for instance, if we know we need snipers in the next segment of the game, we can make sure we have enough sniper clips on. Once the elevator's done, of course, we're gonna choose level 1, and from here on out, it's waiting time. And how's your day going, guys? Well, alrighty. I think I did as much inventory management as I can. You could, if your med gun is empty, for instance, you can slap a new med gun thing on your body armor for a second. Only fill up the med gun when you have that clip on your body armor, right? This is the only way to do it. If you try and do it from the backpack, it doesn't work. But yeah, so this would be one of the moments. I took a level 3 injury on the chest, which is the worst kind of injury, because it reduces our health by 18%. But I've had worse. I've had 2 level 3 injuries at this point in some previous attempts of the speedrun. Took a wrong turn. Whoops. But, you know, it's okay. And we went straight to the research wing. If you have too many injuries and you're not really caring about, like, speed, you can go back. Instead of directly to the research wing, you can go to the lobby, go into the med bay, heal your injuries, and then go to the research wing, research wing where we are right now. But since I'm trying to still manage speed, I go straight to the research wing from the end of the engineering wing, where you have 2 elevators and the choice where you want to go. Very annoying that the timer keeps ticking and ticking while we're waiting for elevators, but I guess it's it's part of the game, and that's why this speedrun, despite being a speedrun, still takes a while. Because there are some things that you just can't accelerate. You could argue that these kind of things, timer could stop, but, you know, we're not there yet to do this professionally. I'm not contesting with any leagues. I don't think we have written down the rules on the Star Citizen front on speedruns. These guys could probably be ignored. So are many of the upcoming battles. I'm not sure. I haven't tried in not this segment, but the next one. Because right now I can't do anything else other than just sitting here. So I may as well just snipe those guys once they start lagging, stop lagging. Yeah, I guess we could run through them. I'm not sure with the next elevator part if we can run through them as well. I don't know. That reload was a mistake. I should have fired the last shot and then reloaded. It's faster, not having to worry about an almost empty mag. There are two stationary machine guns up in the bunker up there, but there's never anybody manning them. Be careful. I would imagine that CIG at some point surprisingly puts guys in there, and suddenly they're gonna pop you with those yellow jacket ship size guns, size 1 guns up there. They throw you over as soon as you get hit. So I decided to use the Lumen again. It's just so much faster than using the sniper. Okay, there we go. In case you're wondering, I'm always going with the Lumen using the silencer and a 2x gamma scope. In my opinion, the cleanest and fastest scope vision that gives you still a slight magnification, but not too magnified so that you're losing efficiency by having to over-aim things or losing overview. The 2x is the perfect choice for me for maximum efficiency and speed. Also in PvP, that's what I use. And for the scope, I do not use a 4x, 8x scope. I think that's it's just very inefficient. You're just sacrificing way too much vision, and you're not getting a lot more accuracy out of it. It's not necessary. I mean, we're not sniping at 800 meters here or 600. We're usually sniping between 50 and 100 meters, right? And that's where the 3x scope does a great job. Unless, of course, the zeroing doesn't... And you see it again, right? The guy is not moving fluidly. The game says he's too far away and he's being rendered in a resource-saving way, which does not require the system to give me a perfect 30 frames per second movement on him. Rather, they give me like a 1 frame per second movement or less. And here, this is where I said, I'm not sure if you have to kill all the guys. You probably could get away with running through. If you're stealthed, like if you're running really stealth, you don't alert the guys, you're running your silencer, you're not shooting at them, you're literally running through by everyone. Because the AI is not very smart and they will take 5 seconds or so before they begin to react to your presence. And by the time that happens, there's a chance you may have already gone around the corner and entered into the next room where, you know, you could just leave everyone alive. Again, this is something I'm gonna try if I really get into the perfecting this speedrun. I will probably ignore all of this, jump over the cover, run over. Maybe I'm gonna shoot down the guy manning this thing, the stationary MG. With a yellow jacket, because if this guy hits you even just one time, it's over. Because you're flying, you fall over off your feet, and then with everybody shooting you, you're basically gonna be dead. But all you have to do is get in here. That's all you gotta do. So maybe we can just do that by running through, not alerting them, and relying on the slow AI response time to not kill us. Remember, we could always just have a med gun in our hand and basically just counter heal the damage. This down there, go down into this corridor. This leads up to the treasure room above with 3 Fresnel LMGs plus an armor box. And then down here is another, sorry, never mind, next one. Down here is another armor box where you get, I think, the trousers. Yeah, you get trousers here. And I even picked them. Obviously, this took some extra seconds to show, but, you know, I still want to provide some value for you guys here, aside from just maximizing or looking at a stupid number. Also here, you don't really have to do it, and I don't know why these hits are not being registered on the mine. There's a hitbox issue with the wall being in front somehow. But yeah. Also, I don't know where this guy came from. There's usually just 2 guys. I killed 2, so where's this guy coming from? That guy surprised me. And he doesn't even know I'm here. See, the silencer is such a god instrument here. I think that's the wrong word to use, but it's so useful, okay? It's so useful to have that silencer. Enemies just don't understand where you are. They're not alerted, they're not coming for you. Okay, so we're moving up here. I'm really sure that you can just run through. Oh, dang it, that last shot. Accidentally hit the button for the console here. Oh, and now he's ducking, right? Oh, all of that adds extra time. But, okay. We got him. At the same time, like, there's always this risk versus reward thing going, right? You kind of want to optimize the time. At the same time, you know you've gone this far, and you don't want to take, like, 2 or 3 extra bullets in your side or back that will give you a level 2 injury. From which moment on, you would now no longer be able to hold up your weapon, right? This is another box. Body armor in there, the red one, and I memorized the code that says on the screen. And we're pressing those buttons now. And access granted. Alright, next segment. And technically, from here on out, I think you can just run through. Just run through. I don't think you have to kill any of these guys, because it takes them too long to react. By the time they begin to fire up back at you, you're probably already past them. But I just love killing them. It's so much fun. I love the PvP and the FPS gameplay in Star Citizen, especially with that Lumen. Now I was thinking for a second, should I take down the gunners on those stationary LMGs, like machine guns there? But there's no reason to. You can just cross over, and now you're besides them. So if they would be manning them, doesn't matter, because they can't aim at you anymore. And some of those guys are gonna, as soon as they notice there's combat happening, they're gonna come up here and try to man those guns. And when they do, well, hold on, let me just get some more clips on. Somehow I always have to manually, hello, wow, what is he doing? He's zip-zapping all over the place. Okay, and there's a bunch of guys down here. Not sure if it would be wise to just run through, but maybe it is. But the next corridor would have more guys too. Okay. 2 clips later, we're done. And this is, you know, this is the last bit. You don't, if you just run through here, in the next room, if you just arrive in the next room, there's only 3 more enemies to deal with. We're 26 minutes in, 40 seconds. You're basically just running over here. Over there in the corner is another helmet box for the new armor. Alrighty. Using this time for opening that thing to heal up. And there's 3 more enemies here. Okay. That's it. That was the last guy. From now on, it's just running. Running. And by the way, we can optimize this further by using a light armor. I was using a heavy armor. The only problem is, if I run a light armor, I think there's another box, by the way, you saw it. By running a light armor, I can only put 4 clips on my body. This is not going to be enough. I will have to constantly do inventory management. Another box over there with the helmet. I would have to constantly do inventory management and clip new clips on the body armor if I were to run the light armor. So yes, I get more speed running or on the mobility, but I can take less damage, more likely to get injuries, and I can't use as many clips on my body. Maybe medium armor would be the perfect compromise. I don't know. Alright, so as soon as the download completes, that's when I stop the counter. 2, 1, pop. 28:02. Okay? By running through everything, I believe we can shave this down to at least 20 minutes. Maybe 19 something. If I wouldn't fight guys, just run through everything I can. But it's gonna be dangerous to try and, for example, do the regen codes while getting shot from all those enemies. You know, probably not gonna be possible. Some of those may have to be taken down. But yeah, so there's the completed mission. We're meanwhile in the outro segment of this video. I hope you had a fun time watching this. Again, if you did, please stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and be ready for the next videos. The news and the guides are always coming, and that's my most fun thing that I like to do. So, without further ado, I don't think I have to show the rest of me just walking back. Oh yeah, wow, I pressed the button for the bed and he's going to the console. Thanks. But yeah, so that's it. See you in the next video. Tell me what you think about the whole speedrun idea, about certain ideas I had and mentioned during the speedrun, and would you like to see me try to optimize this for a perfect time? Let me know, okay? So catch you in the next video. Manni signing off, and bye-bye, my friend.